And Mel, do you have a stop time? You're good. All right, let's take some breaths. Let's move the body, do some shaking and moving your spine, opening things up, creating space in the body. Whatever you need to do to loosen up your spine, your neck, hips, whatever is calling. Whew. Making sure to take some nice big sighing breaths and letting go on the exhale, feeling relaxation enter into the body. Doing some movement patterns. Really tuning into, as you do any movement in the body, its connection to the earth. That these patterns that we work, whether you're, moving in a circle, which is really a spiral, or a sphere, or a triangle, or it's undulation, that it really is tuned into the frequencies all around you and into the earth, that it has a coding in and of itself as you're being guided just to move intrinsically in your body, that it has its own code and that it's deeply connected to the earth and to these energies and frequencies that we're connecting to. Just following that very deep intuitive aspect of the physical body. Moving the body and the breath. And continuing with the exhales to just let anything off the field, out of the body, anything that's not serving, letting it melt down into the earth, feeling gratitude for the earth, for her ability to transform and transmute and compost all of this energy to bring life to us, through us. Feel that widening, spreading of the base, and then the anchoring down. Connecting down. And then drawing up and just allowing that the earth energy naturally arises into the body. You don't have to do. It's more just allowing the natural energy to rise. And then once again, tapping into gratitude and appreciation into the heart and letting that energy rise up into the heart and then out the hands and fill the space. Feeling that the below and all around you are connected. Maybe tuning into that awareness of your own point on the earth, where you are now as a sort of acupuncture needle anchoring down into the skin of the earth. And as it's doing that, connecting to the streams of information that grid the earth. Just as we have our meridians, which are connected to the larger pockets and pools of information, the organ systems and the energy bodies, that we're, as that acupuncture point, tuning into the meridians of the earth and connecting to those larger pools of information streaming to us from other points on the planet. And with that, there's the awareness that just as that acupuncture needle, there is the awareness that there's that tender point where the needle goes in because it is giving information as to toxicity or stuckness or dysfunction in an organ, that we might also be aware of that, and that's okay. As we're receiving information, it can be all kinds of information giving us awareness of a deeper understanding of the earth and her grids. And feeling that again around your body, and then tucking the chin, elongating the spine, connecting up into the divine, into your star point, into this higher awareness and understanding, so that even though you might be feeling certain things from the earth grid, experiencing them fully, there's also this awareness of the higher self, the higher mind, and the higher guides and teachers streaming light and information through your body towards the earth. And just be that point in between, and feel that it creates a radiance within you. And that radiance reaches out as we call upon and we invoke our divine light to support us in cleansing and purifying our bodies, our minds, our egos, our fields, so that we may do this work today. And as we call upon and we invoke the sacred space, just letting that beautiful nature temple arrive. Your favorite trees, water, mountains, whatever it is. Feeling the essence of your favorite nature spot. Allowing that there is the emergence of all of the different energies from that place, the different elements, the different beings, as though they were able to peek out at you from the surroundings. As we call upon and we invoke the presence of our guides and teachers, the beings of love and light, those that support our path, all of our primary guides, mediumship mentors, protective spirits, angels and archangels to protect us as we dive more deeply into the earthly plane. As we call upon the spirits of the earth for the purpose of guidance, illumination, and healing, we sit with you today, welcoming information and guidance as to how we can be better servants of the earth. And again, our questions around working with the weather, around working with the changes that are happening on the planet, the destruction, the imbalances, the grief, around some of the guides that have been showing up for us this month and over time. Thank you for your presence.
Maureen, I was tapping into your question about the cocoon and the water, and the very first thing they showed me was like you trying to crack open the cocoon with your fist, like the cocoon was a walnut, and you're trying to like crack it open. They're also showing me that you're being a little hard headed about this. Um, and, all with love. It's almost as if you're trying to solve the problem entirely with your brain. And that's the only system of communication that you're listening to. And they're trying to encourage you to bring it down just a little bit because if you can embody the question, it's almost the same thing as embodying the answer, as if they're not two separate things, right? Um,
Mhm.
and oddly enough, they're saying it's not as if you can't crack it open like it's a walnut, but you can't expect to shatter it. The crack is a little bit useful. They're bringing the water into it because it's almost as if then, right, like you've cracked it, you've already done it, right, and perhaps it hurt, but when you bring the water into it, all of a sudden it starts opening up in a more gentle way, almost as if it's more slowly, and it's almost healing that way is what they're trying to say. So it's like you've cracked the shell, maybe a little too soon, I guess is what they're trying to say, but when you bring the water into it, it's a soothing and still an opening sort of a thing for you.
Wow. Thank you.
Thanks.
I just want to share. When I dropped in, I was taken to this tree that I love that has its bark is like a lattice, a woven lattice of bark. And I was shown that bark and like a flower petal. And they're like, if you want to work with the larger energy grids of the earth, it's in the bark on the tree, it's in the veins of the flower petal, it's in the way the leaf patterns. So it's like, they were talking about we always want to go so big, like that bigger is better, but that ability to sit with the energy of that one little vein and that tiny little flower petal holds it all. So it's like a continuing training of that deep presence, that deepening versus going bigger and bigger and more to really be with the small beauty that feels harder to really pace ourselves with because it's so tiny, seemingly. And how can that be enough? But it is.
Well, when I tuned into your question of how you can help, um, the first thing I got was like a lizard nature spirit that was showing up for you. He's like sunning himself on a rock. And I get the sense that you tend to work in extremes best. I find it kind of funny that you live in Oregon because I keep seeing like it's like you're in a desert. And there's all of this lightning symbolism. And when you work in the extremes, you have a tendency to make change on a grander scale and all at once. And I think that that is something that speaks to you on a bigger level. Because you're someone who wants change immediately, right? So when you are going in to do the work, they're saying that when you do work in those like big pendulum swings and not so much in the middle here, which is where I get where Rachel works, where it's almost like restorative, you're right up at the tops. And so when you work in the moments of crisis almost, and that's when you tend to make the most change. It's almost to the point where I want to say that I wonder if your life seems like one crisis to the next, or if those are the points that seem like the most, like where you're the most alive or the most aware.
Mel, do you have anything to say or ask about that?
No, that makes sense. I am actually in the desert at the moment. I'm in Central Oregon. uh, so I feel very like uh, connected in with the desert right now. Um, yeah, I don't think of it as going from one crisis to another. I feel like it's kind of I see things in terms of systems and dynamics, and it's almost like the system, there's pressures in the system until it has to change, and then the whole system kind of recrystallizes into a different equilibrium. um that's kind of how I see the my work a lot. I feel like I'm getting like so many different spirits coming in. It's hard to like make sense of it right now. It's like I definitely feel like these like strong weather spirits, um, and caribou and dragons. And with the weather spirits, it's just this sense of they're almost kind of feverish. There's just like so much heat in the system, and they're like the weather is just dispersing that heat within uh, the system. There almost like isn't necessarily anything we can or should do about it, just to accept kind of the natural laws of the world, um, and kind of the role the weather spirits play in kind of that system. Um, I do feel like the sense of kind of water being trapped too much, that there's need to let the waters flow both within kind of within personally within our fields of just letting the energy drop into the earth, but also just within the natural world of um, planting more trees, letting dams run free, and stuff like that, and how valuable that would be in terms of just quenching the fire in the earth. Um, then I was just kind of playing with dragons, and they were just kind of showing me around dragon eggs and how to use that in terms of personal transformation, and sense of taking some of the energies around the dragon spirits and forming it into an egg around me to kind of help me transform into kind of the healer I want to be and trying to be.
That you are. And I am just going to say, because I'm not sure what the message is at all. So just that I have had the, um, I guess they're the Pegasus because they're really like big horses in my face. But there's not, let's see, I have not been able to, I haven't been able to get much more than just like this like hot breath of the the horse nose breath experience. So just voicing that maybe there'll be more information.
Yeah, I get the sense around the Pegasus as being kind of this messenger between the kind of earth energies and angelic energies.
Anytime I tune into them, the only thing that they keep showing me is the great square of the constellation. I get something about radar or sonar or like being in flight, and just a lot of like Archangel Michael energy for some reason. And it's like, what else, like they won't tell me anything else, or I just haven't. I don't know. It's frustrating.
What color is the dragon that you've been seeing?
He's green.
Yeah, um, it's like I get it's something around the informational field of, um, Julia. It's like an initiation into a different informational field that is connected to, um, like this, stream of energy that you're connecting to, and it's like giving you the, um, like these new tools of receiving information, and connecting to a different stream. Um,
That makes perfect sense. As soon as you said like field of information, I was like, that's the sonar thing they keep trying to show me.
Um, Another thing that I'm really being shown right now too is a reminder that our physical bodies are an earth spirit, and um, how often we don't listen to the energy grids and the wisdom of the physical body. So, they're like showing me like first order of being in right relationship with nature, spirit, and earth, and the earth grids is through the body. And so, what do you have to do to be in right relationship with the body and to commune with the body all the time? Yeah, like I like really see it, like they're showing me like it is its own literal own spirit. So when we work with our spirit teams and we work with all of these guides and dragons, are we also working with the spirit of our physical body? Like I was just being shown like, or told, like they're like, we really hate when people just refer to us as a meat suit. Like, don't call us a meat suit. We're so much more than a meat suit. Like, yeah, you're a soul, but like we've been with you, like we're more than a meat suit. Try to work with us here.
Yeah, it's the word I'm getting is ecosystem.
Yeah, like a full-blown miracle of an ecosystem, like a microcosm of the larger cosmos in our body. Just as like what they're showing me, it's just like it really is all like in our cells, all the answers, all the things that we seek.
So I'm being there is some stuff around the like this intentional devotion and prayer and connection in a really deep way to the earth and being present with that, that it awakens like it awakens this stream um, of not just understanding and connection, but also um, uh, new things that will come into your life that for each one of us is different, that there's different paths that we each take in what is the manifestation of what that means, that each one of us has different keys and pieces to this contribution of a transformation on the planet, and that sometimes because there's the experience of there's so much to do and the overwhelm around everything that there is to do, and the everything that you're seeing is in a way is destruction, um, that it's important to be aware that first of all that there's larger cycles of influence at play, and creative cycles of development that are unfolding that you're only witnessing a small portion of in this exact moment. And then also that there's different opportunities that are coming in and poking you to be able to take action forward based on the way that you're most able to be a contribution based on your innate skills and talents and abilities. And that it's not always the way that you think it is going to be, or that it is the way that you think it should be. And that oftentimes the contribution that you are here to offer in that devotionary act is um, something that maybe feels a little more amorphous, or you're unsure of it, but that you to be constantly looking out for the opportunities that are coming into your life to be of service in a different way to this devotionary act of being in presence with the earth.
Yeah, I feel a sense of just tapping into the awareness of the earth. It's just like feeling like almost merging with the field of the earth, and it just has a sense of where all the plants and animals are in the in the area, and then feeling kind of where the ley lines are and the different um, colored, the rays that kind of go into the earth and through the earth, and how that's can be used to kind of identify sacred spots on the earth, and to help to heal people and the earth. As well as just the sense around, connecting into animal spirits through the earth's field.
I'm wondering if, so I'm connecting to, or I was connecting to the Pegasus energy, and I feel nuts. So I'm wondering if anyone else has seen it. In the Great Square, they showed me that there's like this, there's like this portal, kind of looked like a wormhole, and then I went through it, and then it took me into like this pocket reality where it was all scrunched up, and there was some dude there who was like, it's like a record place. It's like holding records, and he's keeping secrets. And he's like, this is what we do. We keep these secrets. And I don't know if I'm crazy. Because it has a lot to do with integrity keeping. right? It's like the keeping of the integrity of like, I don't know if it's a secret, but if it's something that's not necessarily ready to be told yet. And so that by the time it is ready to be told, the person who tells it is so full of integrity and the rightness that this is correct. So that by the time like it's spoken out to the universe or to this new place where it's new information for the first time, you can trust that it's coming from someone who is like who's not bullshitting, who's like absolutely telling the truth. And so I think that's the Archangel Michael energy because it was so full of integrity and so full of like, I'm not messing around, like this is what's real. What's with little pocket world? That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I feel that energy with the sapphire dragon very much. It's very similar energy, but and there's also the sense around the sapphire dragons always like creating portals going through to different worlds, and seems like the Pegasus kind of has that similarity too.
Interesting. Okay.
So, Julia, what's your place in that, in being invited into this place?
That's a good question, man. I don't even know. I also like secrets. The way it was first approached to me is like this is also like a soul group of origin for someone. Like this is an archetype that people carry. And I think sort of that archetypal energy is important to, it's almost like they're gatekeepers of energy in a way, to where it's like when this person finally has this awakening moment or when they finally say it and they're like fully within their integrity, it's almost as if it's like they act as awakening points for other people because their energy is so stalwart is the word, stalwart, and so full of integrity that it makes other people be willing to shake off the energy of an old paradigm, to make room for something that wouldn't have current that wouldn't have been able to that didn't currently exist in that energy and wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So it's like they're like they're expansive. So why do I know this? I know this. I said it's my job. It's like it's my job to know this, I guess. Yeah. And also on a personal level, I think I'm a little nosy, so I just like to know things. It's like that's what I do in the Akasha, I guess. I
Do you think,
asked.
Julia, do you think this is connected to the Akashic records in some way?
I think so. I mean, that's how I primarily, that's where I like to work the most. So I think if I were to sit down and do a reading with someone or a healing, it would be like, this is a new archetype that I need to be aware of because these people are probably going to start coming to me. Okay, that's why.
I feel like there's also this sense, like with the Pegasus and the blue ray of calling you to have, uh, be really cautious with the Akashic records and the information you can tap into. You're tapping into a lot of information and have this sense of, you know, um, really strong integrity and doing what's right with that information.
Is that to say that I haven't been or to like be extra careful?
No, it's not to say you haven't been.
Okay.
It's partly it's also that there's a sense of you soon accessing more information, and to not take that lightly. That there's
Okay.
um, yeah, that um, to be very cautious with that information and share it when it's appropriate with a strong sense
Hmm.
of integrity.
Okay. Thank you.
getting a message for it's for Rachel and for me actually about the like the awareness of how much actual work that you're doing and the state of channeling that you're in on a regular basis, and that it it becomes something that's so second nature and that's happening so often and is, you know, almost sometimes continual, that it can be discounted that that's what's happening. And then there's this sense of just being like tired and over it and not wanting to really even like the, you know, do the work with quotes, as in like actually do the thing, because it's happening so much. um and that it's okay to also have space for not, and for being human, and that um it's like you're being asked, like there's a lot being asked of your system, and a lot of work that's being done, and on so many layers and levels. And so um, to not discount that and to not have judgment around your experience inside of it, especially around being tired.
Thank you. That was perfect timing because I literally was like in this abyss where I'm like, where are you? Where is everybody? Why am I so tired? Legitimately, right when you're like, you're doing a lot of work right now. Like, why is this so much and so hard? Thank you. I needed to hear that. That was like a little like love blanket around me right now.
Maureen, tell us a little bit about your experience.
Um, so I don't have anything parallel to anyone else's story to share here. I'm feeling very, very full, and um, I see the spiritual eye that I see so often, and I just feel this very soft, gentle presence. Like a little body, almost like, um, with its knees pulled in, sitting crouched. I don't see that. I just sort of feel it. And it's very, very gentle, peaceful, soft. I've been, this month I uh, got attunements in Reiki, and I've been working with my two dogs, two puppies, almost daily. And I'm not sure if this might be a connection there or not. Doesn't necessarily feel like a dog, just something very soft.
when you were saying that, Maureen, I just felt like all of Earth being like, we are soft too. You know, like Earth isn't all destroy and fire and burn and storm. It's also the heart of the mother, you know, the heart of creation. So it makes me come back to something you said very first on when you were like, something around like we're being held in this cauldron. The cauldron of love is so big, how much it can hold. And just like, I feel like you're tapping into the core of the core often. And so it's so simple and simple that it sometimes feels like nothing to you, but it really is at the core of all of Earth. Like I'm seeing is that mothering gentleness, and her reason. There's a reason for all the things, but at the core of it is her love, you know. And I feel like that eye that you see into that core of that love. And yeah, that's how I see how you're seeing it.
And I even see, Maureen, this connection with this thing that just happened with this girl and her like not having that mothering gentleness of like that awareness that everything actually is okay, and that was part of like this like anxiety field that she is like always in, that there's, you know, that the mothering energy is judgmental and not gentle. And it's almost like there's just this taste of that interaction that sits with her, that it isn't about you. It is about you. It isn't about you. But yeah, that possibility that she's okay is like something different that she's getting to be with through this process. Oh, I can't hear you.
Feeling a lot better about that car now.
I just have one more thing to share that just was kind of coming through around like being of service to the earth and working with the grids. And they were showing me, like, especially a lot of light workers and things we're taught is constantly shielding our energy. And they're like, actually, how we're of service is to actually expand and expand and to expand our light more versus coming in and shielding, thinking we're having to constantly protect ourselves and being in that, there's a way to shield and stay expanded, but that if we want to really be of service is to extend the light, continue to extend the light very consciously, versus feeling like the world's too much, we need to shrink, we need to tuck away, we need to oh, the energy is really bad, we need to shield and protect. It's more actually being expanded in our light and letting ourselves really take up space as a light, kind of as that acupuncture point you're talking about, Kat, protects us even more, and that when we lend our light, it just bolsters the work the earth is doing.
Yeah, right before you were talking, Rachel, what I was getting was you're being asked to expand. That was like the thing that was being said over and over.
Yeah, I think, yeah, then shrinking versus expanding. And I think as I was kind of coming in that information, it's like I actually get very tired and de-energized when I let myself shrink versus when I let myself stay big and not micromanage my bigness and worry, I don't know how to find the words for it, but yeah, keep taking up space.
Yeah, it's like be willing to take up as much space as possible because the space that you are holding is a healing container of light.
Julia, I was getting the sense around the green dragon as just being this uh, kind of like a guardian spirit with this sense of growth and potential, and also like really strong healing energy, but just how it could be called on for manifesting new spiritual gifts or um, for other abilities.
Yeah, thanks, Mel. That makes a lot of sense. It's funny. It's almost like an expression of my ego. I get what's that book where it's like every person's soul looks like an animal or something, and then the animal's like outside, like his dark materials or something like that. Like that's what the dragon reminds me of, like for me. And sometimes I see that for other people. I'm like, oh God, you're such a wolf, or whatever. But he definitely reminds me of like a guardian angel, I guess, for lack of a better term.
I'm also getting this thing around, if you ask for the path to rise up to meet you, be bold and fearless when it does. Anything else you guys feel like wants to be presenced today? Yeah, feeling complete? So much gratitude. We offer our appreciation for the earth, for all of the blessings of the earth, for all of the energies that we were able to connect to by being in this collaborative field of the earth. We are so honored to be a part of this larger creation and to learn from her and grow with her every single day. We are so blessed to be allowed to live as humans on this planet and to witness her beauty and abundance and creativity every single day. And we offer prayers for the earth, for the waters, and that they may be clean and pure, for the land, that it be fertile, and support all of the plants and the animals, so that they may thrive and be blessed with beautiful lives of abundance and adventure. And that all of the people on this planet open their hearts and open their minds to new possibilities of connecting to the earth, of being regenerative, collaborative partners with her, and discovering their own connection, each individually and all of us collectively, to build a more beautiful, brilliant future on this planet. We are so grateful to be able to do this work. We are so grateful to be able to have these connections. We are so grateful to have these messages, these blessings, and these healings. And we offer these blessings out into the world to reach out through space and time for the betterment of all beings. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And breathing out. And closing down the front. And the back. And the center. Just closing that down as we close the channel. Come back to our sovereign space. Clean anything not supporting us. Clearing, cleaning. Make sure we rub our hands together and build that fire, tuning into the deep fire. And just rubbing that in. Anchoring and integrating. Ah, amazing. So much fun. I was like crying the whole time. All right. Um, okay, everybody. Anything else? We're getting close to the end somewhere in here. We're not at the end yet, though, are we?
We have 2 more months,
Okay, good.
I think.
Okay, that sounds right. Open Your Channel starts on April 4th. So if you know anybody who's interested in this work and wants to move towards this and do this, please send them my way. So we got a week. Okay. And yeah, other than that, please reach out if you need me. I'm here. I'm a little bit busy. I do have Zarina of Olax coming to stay. Did I send you guys? I talked about this last time, yeah. So there is a woman. You can look up OLOX. Want to change it to Lox, like Lox and Bagels. And there's a website, there's YouTube videos. Her name is Zarina, but she's also a snow raven, and she comes from a Siberian shamanic lineage. And she's coming to stay with me Thursday for a week. We're creating some events, ceremonies, and workshops. And she teaches people singing from her tradition, reindeer breathing, which is like it's almost like a circular breathing, but it's like breathing like a reindeer. It's very intense. And also the sounds of the animals and the birds. And so she's coming to stay, and then we're planning on going to Colorado and doing a couple of events there. And we're in talks about a larger global project of a neo-shamanic center with a retreat space, with psilocybin growing in Jamaica, and working with indigenous medicine keepers from all over the world, and linking indigenous medicine keepers, shamans, elders, archiving their songs and their teachings, and then bringing that to the West and linking that with Western practitioners who want to train, and then helping marginalized communities to heal and awaken, and creating regenerative projects so that people can awaken and then go work on earth projects around the world, supporting different communities that need help. So it's sort of this massive, giant, huge thing that's fallen into my lap in the last month. And so we'll see, because we're going to meet and see if this is the thing that we're supposed to be doing. And other than that, like, check out her stuff. She has some amazing talks, and also like just her singing is incredible, and like it's really next level stuff. So yeah, so that's what's going to be going on for me this month, and let you guys know how it goes.
That sounds so exciting. Do keep us posted.
Yeah.
As a breathwork facilitator, I want to know about reindeer breathing.
Yeah, I don't know which one of her videos it's on, but she does demonstrate it in one of the videos. But it's very like it's like this, like
I mean, I'm here for that. I love that kind of breathing. So, okay, cool.
It's very like a reindeer. And yeah, and she's incredibly sweet, and this is what's happening. So, all right. So on to the next. Here we go. Let me know if you need anything. Let me know if you, and I'm happy, like, if you have a friend who wants to do the channeling thing and they're like, I don't know her. Like, I'm happy to get on a call with them. Reach out or have them reach out, send me an email. And then on to the next. You're incredible and amazing. And I'll see you next month if I don't talk to you before then. Bye, everybody. Julia, good luck with your Pegasus people.
Yeah, keep us posted.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let us know who you're gonna have to start when you start picking them out of the like crowd of like who are the Pegasus people. So pay attention to.
Yeah. Oh boy. Thanks.
I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.